Hey, welcome to Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs, the greatest podcast this side of Sturgis. I'm sitting here with Stevie.
Sturgis, baby!
Here with Stevie Van Zandt from the Bruce Springsteen. What are you, Hulk Hogan?
I'm at Sturgis, mate. I'm wearing my gear that I wore when we were over there. It was about 1 billion freaking degrees, mate. The bloody bottles were melting on the bloody footpath.
Good Lord, have a look.
And I wore my helmet.
Right, yes.
This is my Sturgis helmet. Basically what was worn over there, mate.
Safety first.
Well, that's it, mate. You've got to keep your bonds safe.
Well, obviously tonight is a podcast pretty much dedicated to Sturgis and how it all went over there. Obviously, I wasn't lucky enough to go. I had to stay back here and hold the fort, do all the normal stuff that
You'd have broken things.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
But so how was it,
mate? It was absolutely sensational. Yeah, absolutely sensational. We had an absolute ball. So we've got about 21 days, and 9 of those days were at Sturgis, and it was just motorcycle heaven, mate. It was exactly what I expected because we've been there before in 2018, and it was an absolute ball. But before we go any further,
yes,
this is our first ever live.
We are live, baby, live. As you're watching it here now,
my hat's about to come off.
Yes, there it is.
See, it's live.
It's not pre-recorded. It's completely as it's happening. You're seeing it as it happens. So
we've already got people making it. Welcome home, Whitey. Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated, Lizard. No? We've got Big Bert watching. We've got all these people. We can put everybody's comments up here. So if you've got something stupid to say, stick it up and we'll shove it on the screen. It'll be a bit of a laugh.
We've got Aaron's here.
Yeah.
G'day, Aaron. Brian Edwards. Andy Gabb.
Andy's over at from across the ditch, mate. He's over in New Zealand. Spoke to him earlier today. Hey, Andy, how you going, mate?
Going well. Track Life X. How you going, guys?
Yep.
John Aqua. Blokes and girls.
Oh, wait a second. The Aquaman. Hold on, I've got a bone to pick with Aquaman.
What's that?
Well, I don't really. He put a thing up on Facebook the other day of you and me on electric scooters or something, mate. Yeah, up your bum. No, it was good. Gave me a good laugh. Gave us a good laugh. So that was good fun, mate. So yes, today is the Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs Sturgis special, mate. And we're going to get into it. So Paul's going to ask me a few questions, and I'm going to try to remember exactly what happened.
So getting there, what was the whole process?
How much fun was that, mate? What was it, 16 hours on a plane or something? By the time we actually stopped, so we flew from Melbourne to San Fran. Decided to go to San
Before you get there, Dad, how long's the planning been going about this?
We've been planning this since 2018 when last we went. But really, this has been planned for about 18 months, I think. We decided, and the 6 of us headed off, and 4 of us headed off, and then another 2 caught up with us later. But we started off in San Fran, and we went. I visited Alcatraz, and it was very nice of them to let me out.
Yeah.
They put me in Al Capone's actual cage there for one moment with Lisa, and she wanted out for some reason. I don't know why. No? So that was pretty cool. So San Francisco was good, and we went straight from there via Dallas to Rapid City. And a massive shout out, first of all, to Shay and Brent.
Yep.
Or Brad or Philip, whatever I decided to call him on the day. His name's actually Brent, but they're a couple that I met on Facebook when I actually put up on one of the Sturgis sites, how would we get from Rapid City Airport to Sturgis? And she put her hand up and said, hey, I'll happily drive you. And she became our personal Uber driver for the entire 10 days. And I tell you what, a nicer couple you wouldn't meet, mate. They were absolutely sensational.
So you still needed I know you hired bikes there, but you still need something like that to be able to get you around, I suppose?
Well, it does help because we had the bikes for 5.5 of the 8 days.
Yep.
Because the cost was just out of this world. And I'll give you an example. It ended up costing, we hired from Eagle Rider at the Full Throttle Saloon where we were staying, and it cost us about $600 a day.
That's just the bikes.
That was just the bikes.
Okay.
That was a stock standard road glide.
So that's $600 Australian or $600 US?
No, that was about $600 Australian.
Okay.
So it cost us about $3,000 for the bikes for the 5 days.
Yep.
Now you could do it cheaper. There are ways of doing it a lot cheaper. This worked out perfect for us because we got to the full throttle. The next day we picked up the bikes.
Yep.
They were there. Just walk down, pick them up.
Now, for the folks at home that don't know, how many people converge on Sturgis?
Well, it's a sleepy little town of about 6,000 people. And once a year for 10 days, they get between 450 and 750,000 people. So, but that's not just in the town itself. I mean, that's spread about 100 kilometres around. So you've got Deadwood, you've got Keystone, you've got Spearfish, you've got all those areas around there. And it's basically the cars are removed and the bikes are put in. So everywhere you look, there's just bikes constantly, all day, every day. It's absolutely sensational.
Now, the other accommodation?
Okay, so we had, there was 3 couples and we had 2 cabins between us. So we shared, one couple would be in the cabin alone in the love nest, and then the other 2 would be in the other, and then we'd swap around. So that cost us, at the Full Throttle Saloon, that was $2,500 US per cabin.
Now, I saw these cabins, and these cabins
were basic.
Yeah, very basic. No toilet, no shower.
Oh, no, there was a toilet and a shower. It was just 300 metres away.
Yes.
No problem whatsoever.
So it was basically just beds in a
2 beds,
in a box?
a fridge, and a air conditioner.
Right. No table, no chairs.
There was a chair out the front on the veranda.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that was look, for 2 cabins. It's outrageous pricing.
Yeah.
And especially when you take into account the Australian dollar, which the Australian dollar at the moment, they'll tell you, you're getting 63 cents. I'll tell you, you're getting about 49 by the time you pay fees and
taxes
and everything. For example, today I purchased online that picture a lot of you on the Facebook page would have seen, and it's taken in the main street of Sturgis, $25 US. Clicked on that, $40.68 Australian.
Yeah.
So that's not 62 cents in the dollar, mate, I'm telling you now.
Yes.
If you're going to go to the States at the moment, if you're going to travel anywhere in the world at the moment, the Australian dollar's worth about half a denarii, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible. But we planned this a long time. I'd saved for a long time, and we blew it in a short time.
So you were there for 3 weeks?
3 weeks in total. So we did Vegas for a couple of days. San Fran for a couple of days. Over to Sturgis for 10. Then 4 days in Vegas.
Yep.
That's a fun town. And 4 days in Hawaii on the way home because an old man needs to relax.
So with Sturgis itself, like the amount of vendors that there, like it's obviously
So.
Is it different to here? Like are there more products available? Is there?
Mate, it is insane the products that are there. We went to Rapid City Harley Davidson, Black Hills Harley, spent about 2.5 hours there, and I think I only got half an hour inside the shop because we were in the car park. Now, next episode, I'll show you some photos. We only got home about 36 hours ago, so we haven't even had time to get all photos.
Which is why we're going live, because he was so inconsiderate as to not come back here early enough for us to actually film.
I was going to, mate, but the tail gunner wouldn't get on the freaking plane in Hawaii. I had to drag it from the bloody Hawaiian Hilton, kicking and screaming, quite frankly.
And I don't know, is it just coincidental that you happened to be there when the whole joint burnt down? Did you happen to light a bonfire?
I'm not going to answer that on the grounds, but it may incinerate me.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So with getting back to like the vendors and all sorts of stuff that are there, how many vendors?
Well, in the car park at Black Hills Harley alone, there was 220 vendors. So each one had their own little tent or their own little marquee. And some of the things you see there are just incredible. You've got your usuals, your Advent Black, your blokes selling different the stereos, mate. Some of these bikes coming down the main street of Sturgis, fair dinkum, as they hit the main street, half the bloody building started to click.
Yeah.
What they can put on a motorcycle is insane, absolutely insane. And it all comes down to your pocket. If you've got a big enough pocket, they can put anything. And
it's a whole different world over there, really, when it comes to motorcycles.
Yeah, look, parts and pieces. Things like I bought a beautiful bronze timing cover for the side of Ruby Road Glide. And that'll take pride of place because it just says Sturgis 2023 and it's got a bison in the middle. Looks really cool. And, I mean, those are things that are just not available here. There are just so many little things that aren't available here. You know, you can get personalised timing covers. I mean, you can get all this stuff from the States.
Yeah.
But, of course, the problem is postage becomes a huge issue, especially when you're looking at anything that's weighty. But the amount of, I mean, I spoke to one bloke there, for example. He makes, you know, all your little caps for your bike, whether it be your, you know, your axle on your bike, but where the swing arm pivot, there's two little plastic things on the end. He makes metal ones of those, which have got different designs on them. So, you know, American flags or anything like that. And the quality was just insane. And the prices were pretty reasonable. You know, until you take into account the Australian dollar, it makes it quite expensive. But just these little things, mate, there were just so many little vendors that had these things that we just don't see here. And speaking of things we don't see here, and Lisa will talk about this later, I think, is the amount of women's clothing.
Yeah.
There's none left in the States. Not an item. She bought it all back. Every bloody item. I tell you, mate, she loaded up because the selection over there is just so, I mean, you know, the selection here for women for motorcycle clothing is pretty average.
Yeah.
Over there, insane. They've got as much for the women as they have for the blokes. All right. And it's just the quality of the stuff is just insane. So, yeah, product-wise and vendor-wise, and that was just Blackville's Harley, by the way. You've also got the whole of Lozelle is wall-to-wall vendors.
Yep.
Every shop is filled with vendors. You know, some of them only come in for the 10 days of the rally. And then you've got Main Street as well. So it's just everywhere. And then you can go to Deadwood, same thing again. Wherever there's a vacant block of land, there's a vendor.
Uh-huh.
So there's just, it's just, your money just goes, you're just seeing it. Wherever you go, you see something, you just have to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, T-shirts, oh my God. I don't know how many Harley stores we went to. I lost count after about 15, I think.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere. And the quality of service. You know, we're going there to buy a bloody, you know, we said every one we go into we'll buy a poker chip. But you walk out with a lot more poker chip every time. But it was just, the service is incredible. That they're actually happy to be there.
Yep.
You know, and not every store is like that, but every store there was. I mean, they were absolutely rapt just to be employed and so proud to be working for a Harley dealer.
Now, question: the actual motorcycles you hire, are they in good nick? Are they?
Well, yeah, ours were in actually reasonable nick. I was pretty happy with the quality. I've heard some poor things about Eagle Rider, and I certainly won't rave about their price because their price was astronomical, really.
Yeah.
But having said that, picking up the bike, dropping off the bike, and the condition of the bike was really good. And ours was a 2019 Road Glide, Road Glide Ultra. So it was great. I did notice the difference between it and mine because I've got the cam and so stage 2. It was just a standard.
Yep. Which you'd expect.
Yeah. But it was, it was a good bike, mate. It handled well and took us everywhere we want to go. So I can't complain about it.
Now, something, if you're planning on going overseas, one thing that I think we picked up, even going to Bali, is the fact that with your insurance, your travel insurance, you need to make sure
you're covered.
You're covered because if you read the fine print of your travel insurance, you're only covered for motorcycles up to 250cc.
95% of insurance coverage only covers you up to a 250cc motorcycle, and that's actually changed in the last few years because I remember asking this same question previously of my previous insurance company, and then this time I went and looked and they go, no, 250cc max. So I actually had to go to a different insurance company, which I think was called Zoom Insurance, which is underwritten by Lloyd's of London or something. Yeah. So we were able to get insurance, but you've got to be really careful because if something happens, they're going to write the offers. We all know what it's like with insurance companies, mate. Yep. They're going to write you off as quick as as quick as they can if they can.
No worries. So now you went to the Full Throttle Saloon.
Yes. My little favourite place in Sturgis, really, mate.
By the way, Whitey actually brought me back this pretty cool bracelet.
It's not bad, is it?
So they're pretty cool, isn't it? Look, it's actually like a motorcycle chain. So,
yeah, I like those. They're pretty good.
Mine's nicer.
Yours is pretty good. Hey, I had to go to the to the guy and say, listen, this bloke's built like a bloody tree house. Have you got one that's going to wrap around a limb that's about this big? And he said, yeah, not a problem, sir. Because I could wrap about 3 of those around my scrawny little arms, mate.
So
press the button on this, or we're not going to know what we're frigging doing.
Exactly. So is it value for money?
Well, if you were to think of it monetarily wise, it's crap. I mean, it costs an absolute fortune. But, my dear old dad, mate, he had a little saying, and one of the last things he said to me, he says, mate, do whatever you can in life because life is not a rehearsal.
Yeah.
And since very shortly after that day, that has been up my arm.
Yeah.
Life is not a rehearsal. So you don't take money to the grave, mate.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you take to the grave are memories. And in that case, this was well and truly worth it.
Yeah.
The memories were fantastic. I mean, some of the roads we rode, just the riding alone, apart from the experience of being in Sturgis itself and places like Deadwood, which was incredible. In fact, I think I enjoyed Deadwood more this time than I did last time. Because basically when you get there, there's a certain rides that you sort of need to do. There's Needles Highway, which everybody knows about. There's the Iron Mountain Road, which is pretty much my favourite.
Yeah.
Just incredible views. That's when you're going up through what they call the switchbacks, which are basically hairpin bends, and one onto the other and onto a bridge and then through a rock bloody cave that goes through the mountain and the other side, and then you stop and you look back and through the hole in the cave, through the tunnel that you've just ridden through, you look through the other side and there's Mount Rushmore's heads, silhouetted in the thing. It's absolutely insanely good. It is insanely good.
Was I there?
They didn't put your head up, no.
Disappointed.
Hold on, we got one here. Let me just...
Hello from North Carolina.
From North Carolina? Hello, Kennedy. Thank you for popping in, mate. Had a brief conversation with you up in Keystone while we were filming some guy's Gatling gun exhaust. I did see, yes. So what the go was there is I'm in Keystone talking, and I'm walking along, and I look down, and the mufflers on this bike were 2 Gatling guns, and they actually spun. And I stopped and was having it, and I said to the 2 blokes beside me, which obviously one of them was.
Sorry, I'm going to butt in on one second. We've got somebody saying, "Hi, Grandpa." What's going on there?
Well, let me just tell you, and I was going to pause and say hello to my beautiful 2 grandsons. They're both over there.
Look down the camera.
Oh, sorry. Look down the camera. Hello, boys. So my 2 beautiful grandsons are currently over in Wales with their mum and their stepdad.
Yep.
And they've been allowed to. It's morning over there.
Okay.
So they're watching. So hi, boys. Miss you. It's actually the longest we've ever been.
Yeah.
Since they were born, without seeing them, because they've been gone about 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's we miss you. All right, you've done that to me. That's a bit harsh. Hello, boys. I can't wait for you to get back. So you can wash my car and everything.
He's got plenty for you to do.
Plenty for you to do. No, you're going to love it. I miss him a lot.
Now, so getting back to this gentleman
So we're. I'm looking down. I just turned around to these 2 guys and I said, "How cool are they?" And next minute we're having this was the thing. No matter where you went in the States, you just look up and say something to someone. And the thing is, of course, as soon as they see you've got an Aussie accent, next minute you're in a 10-minute conversation. It takes you about an hour and a half to walk down the street.
Yeah.
Because you just meet so many. If you played your cards right, you should have played.
Hey, Bert, that would mean he had to take some money out of his pocket to his table. That wouldn't happen.
That's not going to happen. Hey? No. But, so that was just one of the little incidents where you meet people. Another time we're on our way down we were going to Devil's Tower, which is an absolute fantastic location, a really nice ride, and we got we're about 4K from it. You can see it in the distance, and we decided to pull over because there's a heap of bikes pulled over. And Lisa and I get off the bike, and everybody gets off the bike. Anyway, we turn around, and Lisa found this on our bike. Look at this little guy. It's a little pig. And it's got a little tag on it with a barcode, and it says, "You've been hogged. Find out more and share your adventures on Travelling Hogs Facebook group." So they've got a little Facebook group. You scan it, it takes you straight to the Facebook group, which, what a cool way of meeting people.
It is, it's cool.
And just in case he's watching, while we were there, we ran into TJ and his group, a group of, they're probably, late 20s, early 30s. They were from Texas. And TJ then gave Lisa this, which I thought was really, really nice and cool of him. And it's a bandana from Fort Worth, Harley Davidson. Now, we just met this bloke on the side of the road. First thing he's done is he's hogged me missus, which is at first you might think that's a concern, but no, it was not.
Like you didn't pork him, is it?
Well, that's true. But he's given her the 40, and what a great bunch of blokes they were. They were both two of the guys, the two main blokes were talking to TJ, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of his mate. But you'll see him in an upcoming video that we've got, because we're going to vlog a lot of this on the That Harley Couple website, YouTube channel. And what a great bloke, wasn't it? And to me, the biggest thrill was when they said, at the end of that little conversation, they said, "Would you like to ride with us into Devil's Tower?" Well, that was cool as. To me, for someone to say, "Hey, come ride with us,"
that's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, and they were really good blokes. Both of them were returned vets. TJ had been injured in Iraq. Pretty sure it was Iraq, and a nicer bunch. And they rode into Devil's Tower with us, and it was a bit of a thrill.
So, for any Aussies thinking about going across there to Sturgis, what would be the main thing you would say to make sure you do this?
Your research. You got to do your research. You've got to, first of all, you've got to know exactly how much it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you at the moment a shit ton. All right. There are people close by who paid much more shit ton. We'll get to them in a minute, but paid much more of a shit ton than I did. But look, it's not a cheap thing. I mean, it's Sturgis. So when we hired the bikes, you look at it originally, you go, "Well, those bikes aren't too big to hire." And then you put in the dates, and they go, "Oh, well, it's peak period." So you got to add peak period. Oh, you got to add the Sturgis period as well. So you got peak period, which you pay, and then you got Sturgis period, which you pay on top of that. Then you've got insurance that comes on top of that. So that's why it becomes so expensive. They've basically got you by the short and curlies, so you've got to pay it. But I can look at it now and I can go, you know what? It cost us as much to go this time for 21 days as it did for us 5 years ago to go for 40 days.
Okay, right. So it's a lot.
And we did 8,000 kilometres last time on hired bikes that we had I think we had the bikes for 21 or 22 days last time. This time we had the bikes for 5.5 days. So everything has gone through the roof over there. It's not cheap to go. We were actually a bit surprised at how much more expensive everything was. I mean, Vegas, for example, we used to go, last time we were there, we were paying $25 to go and see a fantastic show. Now it's $65. Things like that. I've got to tell you, we go up to the pool one night at Vegas. Well, it's a nice day. We'll go up to about 40 degrees. We won't go and have a little bit of a dip. I'll just go and get a beer. So I went to the pool, the bar near the pool. I said, "I'll just have a Miller Lite." By the way, that's light carbs, not light beer. Don't get on me case about being a pussy because I'm drinking light beer, Christ. Anyway, no worries. That'll be $17 US. So that's about $28 Australian for one bottle of beer. It wasn't even a long neck. So safe to say, Whitey stayed pretty sober that day. Next day, I thought, it's easy. I'll just get a Coke. When you got a Coke, $10 US for a Coke, which is about $16 Australian.
Holy crap!
I said I might just die of dehydration. It's a lot less painful. So it wasn't cheap, but it was fun.
Now, before we go any further, I just wanted to bring up something. One of our subscribers, Dave the Doorman.
Dave, you cracked me up, mate.
I hope you're watching, mate. I really hope you're watching. He sent us a couple of things, and the first thing Whitey said to me when I rocked up here today, he goes, "Oh, you're going to tell me to get fucked?" At least I said no, but I've got something for you. So,
just one moment.
Yeah.
My grandsons. Stephanie, make them turn away for a moment, please. Thank you. Right, go ahead.
That's what we got from
Dave the Doorman.
You can see.
Thank you, Dave. You cracked me up, mate.
It's actually a bottle opener.
Yeah.
So it's
Doorman says
it's actually useful as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Much appreciated, Dave. That was very funny. Gave me a hell of a chuckle tonight when that came in.
And the other thing is, too, guys, today's episode is actually sponsored by, and I can't believe we actually landed this, Hoglights Australia. Now, I've been putting this stuff up in on the Facebook page.
Yep.
If you go onto their website, you get the 10% discount if you put in Flog 10. Nathan has been absolutely sensational for us. He's been a ripper bloke, and he's given us stuff and stuff for us to review.
For Hoglights. Code for Hoglights is Hogs 10.
Yep.
Hogs 10 for Hoglights.
There we go.
So
you get 10% discount if you jump on their website and buy anything, pretty much. And he's got lots of stuff on there. And it's not just Harley, it's for anything. Suzuki, Kawasaki, I think Ducati, the whole box and dice.
You've already fitted your Hoglights to the Vickler.
Yep.
What do you think?
Sensational. If you haven't seen that video, it's on my Harley Roadshow channel. But I put it
after this. We'll put the link in the show.
Yeah. But absolutely sensational. I mean, like I've said before, the lights I had on there before with basically like candles on a birthday cake.
Yeah.
You couldn't see anything. I actually went for a ride. Went into with John Aqua. Went into the launch of the motorcycle for the 40th Hog anniversary, and rode home in the dark, and absolutely sensational. So Nathan from Hoglights Australia, thank you. Flogs, get on there, support the guys that support us. And if you haven't jumped on our Facebook page yet, please jump on there, because there's some great stuff coming on there.
While we're talking about Facebook page, the other week, Paul, while I was away, I noticed you put up a thing, show us what your rides are.
Yep.
And the response was absolutely sensational.
It's fantastic.
Look, I think the bloke that put up a photo of his wife's legs was a bit, because you said, what are you riding?
Yeah.
You're a Devo. You're a deviant.
But if you wouldn't mind DMing us the other photos, we'd be very appreciative. That'd be handy.
Well, just for educational purposes and research.
Yes.
No other reason.
No other reason whatsoever. And we won't share them around to many friends anyway. No, absolutely.
No.
Now, we want to bring in Lisa, because she was
party to this trip.
Yes, and she also got to experience something that she wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
She got to see a bison up close and personal. So we'll bring Lisa in now, who's just about to fall off her chair. She didn't realise this was happening, because obviously Whitey hasn't told her. So
she's not even dressed.
And she's not even dressed. Well, she is dressed, but she's not even made up. But she's going to come on now, because we don't care about any of that sort of stuff, because that's the sort of people we are. So come here, Lisa.
You come in. I'm going to move this across a little bit for you. You're going to kill me. And I'll bring this.
Now.
How we looking?
We'll look like a sport, I'll tell you that.
Now we're going to have a quick chat about.
So, now, Lisa, this bison experience, what actually happened?
Oh, my God, it was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, we were going through Custer's State Park.
Yeah.
And we had all our fingers crossed, because not always do you see bison.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're travelling through, and it looked pretty quiet at the time. But as we came round the corner, there was like 3 or 4 herds that were
It was insane.
that were there. Well, I almost cried because it was quite emotional. They are absolutely beautiful, and they were actually crossing. We had to stop, and they were crossing in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was a fabulous sight. Everyone got off their bikes.
Mhm.
There were a few cars as well. And
I hid behind Lisa because, quite frankly, I know I can run faster than she can.
But it was
Always the gentleman.
It was really good. Everywhere in town it says don't pat the fluffy cows.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So people are aware not to go too close to them. But it was a fabulous experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. You sort of, until you actually experience something like that, you really can't explain what it was like. But just to be amongst wildlife,
Yep.
and just let them in their own habitat, walk across in front of you, and
Yeah.
it was really good. And everyone was very respectful and knew not to go too close, because we've seen those, well, on YouTube and that, where you see someone's jeans get ripped off, because they get that little bit too close.
That's the full throttle saloon, though, isn't it?
Plenty of that.
From a woman's perspective, with Sturgis, what did you ever feel threatened or
No.
No?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everyone is, like, there to have a good time.
Yeah.
There's no one there to, cause trouble or make it, it's really
we didn't
good.
see you didn't see an angry person.
No one was angry.
That's because they all carry guns.
Well, it might have
They all have concealed weapons.
Yeah.
All their clothes that they sell advertise concealed.
Yeah, it's all got concealed pocket. I go, well, I don't really need to hide my mobile phone. I really don't need to hide my mobile phone that much, but okay, that's a cool thing. And it's funny when they're trying to sell it to you, you go, dude, I don't really need a concealed pocket. I go, where are you going to put your gun? I said, what gun? No one's got a freaking gun in its face. Which is quite amusing.
It's so good, like, for men and women. It is such an experience that you really have to experience.
Yep.
Even, like, you hear about all the bar women and that, where they wear hardware, but it is so tasteful.
Yeah.
The girls in that are fabulous, girls just there to do a job and help serve you and that. And their costumes that they wear, well, there's hardly anything that they wear, but they're fantastic.
Yeah.
You just want to sort of, they're happy for you to take photos and that, because when we will put up photos of all the different girls and that later on in a...
Well, that's their gig.
Yeah. And because we wanted to research and do this so much, I made sure.
But I took lots of photos.
Yeah, I said, Lisa, you take the photos because,
But it's not sleazy at all. It's very tasteful. It's well done. But no, not once did you feel uncomfortable or worried or anything like that. I'd recommend anyone to go, because the experience is just fantastic.
I think if anyone tried anything on in Sturgis, it'd probably be the last thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, look, I don't think I've ever met more respectful people. I don't know if it's Midwest Americans. I can't even say it, because they come from all over America. But every single person we met was yes sir, no sir, free back. It was absolutely yes ma'am. And but I tell you what, I always said the English do pomp and ceremony very well. The Americans do respect. Well, the ones I've met so far do respect sensationally, and no more so. We're on the way back from Black Hills Harley, and we stopped in at the Black Hills National Military Cemetery. Wow. All I can say, and we'll be putting that up on a video, because that was just an experience of art. Everyone's heard of Arlington. Well, there's lots of little cemeteries like that, but this wasn't so little.
Yeah.
There were several thousand gravestones there, and it was well worth the stop. We stopped, had a chat with the groundsman, we had a chat with the people in the office, and then just went for a respectful, basically walk through it. And but I get very big on the military and giving respect to the military. Well, they are very, very good at it. And the lawns were pristine. You think it was a golf course, not a cemetery.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Also, too, like, they're so proud of their country.
Yeah.
Every RV, even tent, all flew the American flag.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, they're so proud of being Americans.
Oh, but the other thing is, you got to say, is that you think we're a little bit irreverent towards our politicians. Under every American flag in Sturgis was an F joke, F Biden.
Yes.
F Biden.
Yeah.
If you drive in and there's hundreds of F Biden, the man's not well loved in that area.
No one.
We need to get some Andrews. We need to get some Andrews flag.
There wasn't one person that we didn't talk to that couldn't understand how Trump didn't get back in.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's you know, the feeling in there at the moment is really, really intense. That he's not well liked. Some of them said they're on the
verge of a civil war.
Yeah, but
that's how bad it's getting.
But they're just so angry at their government at the moment, I think, and yeah, we've all been there at varying times. But geez, it was palpable how much they.
So Chops just asked a question. No, mate, he didn't give me my chaps because what. How do you give it to? I would have put them on tonight, mate. I would have actually turned around and bared my ass to you all.
I rang
like one of the village people.
Darren, I actually rang Paul and said, "Look, what do you think of these fella?" And he says, "Oh, Whitey, I don't want you spending so much money." And I said, "Okay, I'll leave these alone, but they would look cute on you, mate." Arseless leather chat, they were gorgeous. I
actually know that if I had to put him on, I'd have to blindfold him because he'd be fixated. He'd be absolutely fixated because he's only human. And I've got a great ass. I mean, let's just ask anyway. Well, Les, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. We're just going to keep flicking through this live show. We've got to bring in some special guests now. These people have been away for...
You reckon my trip was good, mate?
Yes.
Wait until you check out where these two have been.
They have been away for 60 days. We've got Graham, or Captain, and Tennille, and I'd like to bring them in, and we're going to talk about their trip, why they went there, what they did when they were there. So I'll just scoot across here and bring them into the shop.
Ross. Jump in, mate.
Why do you jump in here, mate? We'll
You want me in there first?
Yeah, you go in there
first. He just likes sitting next to me, don't he? Here we go. Let's cuddle up here, folks.
Yeah.
So, Neil, you're going to have to snuggle right in, my dear.
There we go. We're in. We're all in.
All right. Oh, I'm seeing how cute's that.
Now, you've been away for, what was it, 56-day trip, wasn't it?
53 days tour.
Yeah.
And from the time we left home till the time we got back, 60 days all up.
Unbelievable. Now, I know there was a reason you did this trip. So you want to tell us the actual reason you decided to do this trip?
He was turning 60.
Yep.
Yeah, my 60th birthday present.
Right.
So.
And something else happened while you were over there, I heard too.
Yes, we renewed our marriage vows.
Well, I tell you what, like
in Sturgis, how cool's that?
That's pretty bloody cool.
And we were there 15 minutes later. We missed out by just 15 minutes. 5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
I'll tell you what, because that was actually, we got the text from you to come along when we were at that cemetery, which is about 35 minutes away. And I think it took us about 20 minutes. And we missed out by about 5. But it was a great experience. Wasn't it fun?
Oh,
and what a great little.
We just had the best time.
Actually, we would have made it in time if we could find the bloody place, but it was so small and it had a sign on the front door about this freaking big.
It was an optometrist.
It was an optometrist, but they do weddings as well.
The Sturgis hitching post.
Yes, the hitching post.
So where did you guys start?
We started flew into LA, hired a car and drove to Vegas, and that's where the tour started.
Okay.
And from there we went down through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and spent about 8 days in Texas. Went across to New Orleans, then followed the Mississippi up to Milwaukie for the 120. Which was absolutely amazing.
What happened at Milwaukie, mate? Tell them the story about who you got to see.
We got to meet Bill Davidson up there.
Yeah.
Just got to meet Bill Davidson. No one special, mate.
No.
He gave me a hug.
Yeah. Got to ride in the Grand Parade, which was mind-blowing.
Yep.
I've never seen so many people lining the streets for motorcyclists.
Yep.
It was just wild.
Now, just on that, I found when I was over there, there's the motorcycle culture and the way people see motorcyclists and embrace motorcycles is different to here, isn't it?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, it's so encouraged and so. Towns want you there. People want you there.
Everywhere you went in Milwaukie, people were going, "Welcome home."
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
And literally everywhere.
Yeah.
You've never felt so welcomed as a biker anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
No, I just found it just absolutely amazing. You actually feel it. It's palpable.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And I've never seen so many bikes in my life in one spot.
Yeah.
Just so many bikes.
Yeah.
And everybody you spoke to, awesome people. Everybody's nice. There's no aggro.
Yep.
Everybody's there.
Respectful
with a common love of Harleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, great. So that was an organised tour.
Yes. So heavy duty motorcycle tours.
Yeah.
Now, several heavy-duty motorcycle tours going on at the same time.
There was, yeah.
3 at a time, so there's 3 different lengths, but you went on the big one.
The big one.
You didn't go on the,
we didn't do the 7-day or
the baby bear or the mama bear. You went on the daddy bear of bloody rocks.
Yeah.
And it went everywhere. It was just, I remember sitting with you in Vegas on the night of your 60th, actually, and we sat there and you were telling us about different places you'd been. And they had to send, 2 lots of boxes home full of T-shirts. 3 lots of boxes of just T-shirts home.
Well, you had to buy a T-shirt.
Of course you do.
Dealership you went to.
Yeah.
And of course there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
And then the son. And then the dog.
And had to buy poker chips. How many hundred poker
I think
chips?
we're up to like 210.
Poker chips.
Did you buy 1 or 2 at each leg?
2.
2 so you could display front and rear.
Yeah.
So part of the tour that they have a van that follows you around every day, don't they?
Yeah, to carry our luggage and.
So do they organise dinners and lunches?
The welcome dinner and the farewell dinner.
And breakfast came with most of the hotels.
Yeah.
But generally your other meals, your lunch and your main meal, you organise yourself.
Well, that was one of the things I was going to ask you about, though, is how do you pack for 60 days away when you're going to be on a motorbike? But obviously you were able to take a suitcase each, I guess, because
but you're still having to pack fairly small. We sort of worked on the idea of having 4 days worth of clothes and then doing washing every 4 days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did the washing every 4 days.
Yeah.
And look, it just said, look, as long as it's within 365 days of your birthday, you shouldn't have it.
No, of course not.
So you found it was well organised?
Yeah, it was very well organised. They knew all the right places to take us. No day's ride was too long.
Yeah.
There were a couple of fairly long days, but there were enough breaks.
What would you consider a very long day on that trip?
600 miles.
600 miles. That's
600 kilometres.
600 kilometres.
Yeah.
Well, that's a decent day, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a decent day, but it's not ridiculous.
That was in the heat.
Yeah.
The really stifling heat.
Well, the heat does make a massive difference,
It does
doesn't it?
make a huge difference. We were travelling sort of 110 Fahrenheit, which is the high mid-40s.
Yeah, 39,
Yeah. And
Especially through places like Arizona.
yes.
I remember when me and Lisa went through Arizona, it was like 48 degrees or something.
Yeah,
That was the last time we went. It's insanely hot.
But
It's not your skin off.
we all had like the cooling vests, which worked really well.
Yeah.
In the van, there was an esky full of ice water, and every stop you'd dunk your vest in there and top it up.
Yeah.
Lots of water.
Yeah. So with the tours, like how many people are on the tour? Is it like
Started with 32.
Yeah.
There's 32 of us, 6 Kiwis, and the rest of us Aussies.
Yeah.
And that was until we got to Milwaukie. Then 2 couples finished their tour there, and the rest of us went on to do the rest of the 53 days.
What an absolutely brilliant experience.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Absolute experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And we saw so much of America
Yeah.
and such diverse countryside.
Yeah.
Places we'd love to go back to. If we
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a sampler pack of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how, I don't know about you, but I just find you grow up looking at things on TV and the shows and you think, oh, yeah, this, that, now. But the American people, you could not find people that were more, A, proud of their country, B, proud that you had made the effort to come to their country.
Yes.
They
all
were
said
just
welcome.
so often they were so blown away that we'd made the effort to come all that way.
No, we had a very similar experience. Everybody was just so
So
welcoming,
if anyone's
so friendly, no matter where you went.
no, so if anyone's even thinking about it, look, if you want to go to the States, you're never going to be lonely over there because there's so many people that look, you've only got to open your mouth and you've got someone to talk to.
Yeah, as soon as they know you're an Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love Aussies.
Oh,
So what was your favourite part?
I love spearfish cannon.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Spearfish was, this is one I'm going to talk about, those Spearfish Canyon.
Canyon. You're riding along, you're just going, wow,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow,
Yeah, it was
wow. Every turn you make, it's
and
just
Spearfish
mind-blowing.
Canyon only takes you about 35, 40 minutes to ride through.
Yeah,
But it is, I mean,
It's a place you don't want to ride fast.
Yeah.
no, you don't need to. You don't need to because it's not so much up and down. It's actually quite flat throughout the whole thing, going through the bottom of the canyon.
Yeah,
But the side, and we did that on our last day. So up until that day, I would say that Iron Mountain Road was without doubt my favourite road in Sturgis. But then I did spearfish and I'm going, geez, it's definitely a contender because it was just such a pretty.
We rode both of them and hard to pick which one's the better one. But we also did other great places. We went up Pikes Peak.
Yep.
Where they do the rally cars.
Yep.
Amazing views from up the top of there. Beautiful road. It's all bitumen now.
You just can't breathe.
Now on the roads, with the roads, we don't have an issue with potholes over there, do we?
Some places.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Is bad.
Yeah, more so in the back streets of the cities.
Yeah.
There's potholes you could lose a semi-trail in.
Yeah. Highways?
Not so bad. The expansion joints between the concrete sections can get a bit tiring.
Yeah.
Well,
Getting that ba-bum for hours at a time.
But quality wise and road wise, like on the interstates,
when they get it right, they get it so right.
We actually, when we went out Devil's Canyon, because of course the speed limit over there is 80 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think, and that's just a suggestion, keep it around here, fellas. And which is about 126 k's an hour or something. The funny part that made me laugh was at one stage we come across and said 5 kilometres of roadworks ago, you're going to come to a stop here. Please lower your speed to 60 miles an hour. Which is 100 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for 5k you have to drop down to what our top speed is on our bloody roads here anyway. And it's just done so well. I know that they had always work that needed doing on the interstate out between Sturgis and Rapid City. That was all being and the police actually said to the construction, you will have this finished by next week. I don't care by hook or by crook.
Yep.
Otherwise, the county would fine them if it wasn't done because it had to be ready for the rally. Because the rally, I believe, accounts for something like 85% of the income for the entire year.
Yep.
So it is paramount for everybody in that area that the rally goes well.
Yep.
And it certainly did this year.
Oh, absolutely.
It was friend fun.
So these tours that you've done here, is it once a year they do it, or do they do it a couple of times a year?
They do several tours throughout the year. They do one for Daytona Bike Week.
Yep.
They do a Route 66 tour.
And there's a website, Heavy Duty Motorcycle Tours. You just jump on there.
Yeah.
If you have a Heavy Duty magazine site, they've actually got a link to it.
We'll put a link in our show notes after when we get this finished. I've just noticed Aaron from Resurgence here has jumped in to say hi. Thanks, g'day Aaron. Thanks for coming in again. Flogs. Remember, if you're after some motorcycle gear, which I know Whitey wore over there.
I certainly did. Even though Aaron told me not to wear it, he said, "Whitey, it's going to be too hot to wear because I have the very heavy, the heavier, stronger ones." And I've got to tell you, lucky I did take them, mate, because it rained for the first 3 days and I was as warm as toast.
Yeah.
Look, when they got up to around about 35 degrees, I actually did a bit of a promo shoot for it, which I've got to find and put up. And we were at, where were we, Lee? In the Badlands, about the hottest place on earth almost, you know. And I think it was only about 38, 39 degrees that day. And so they were a little bit warm, but not a problem whatsoever, mate. And I felt comfortable, and I certainly felt protected in them, mate. They are just, I've got to say, after wearing them for, well, I wore them all that time before we left, and then she made me, she washed them on me, and then I wore them pretty much the whole time we were riding in Sturgis, and it was great. So thanks again, Aaron.
So remember, guys, Flog 10. If you jump onto the Resurgence website, if you're after your motorcycle gear, I put the stuff up on the Facebook page as well. But Resurgence code Flog 10. And get your 10% discount, and also go into the draw to win those gloves as well.
Yeah. So no, I was going to say they were really, really good. What are we looking at? The target was pointing at something. What are you pointing at there? You were pointing at something. It's all good. Okay.
So give jump on the website, and there's lots of gear on there to have a look at. And again, the most comfortable motorcycle jeans I have ever worn.
Crackers, absolute crackers. So tell us some more. Where else did you go? What did you say?
From Milwaukie for the 120, we went down to Nashville, where my beautiful wife bought me a guitar for my birthday.
Where did you go to find a guitar for your birthday?
To the Gibson Guitar Garage.
Okay, so apparently, if you're a guitar playing musician, this is like going to
heaven. You walk in the door and there's a conveyor belt of guitars hanging from the roof, and it goes right through the whole complex. And you're going, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Just sensational. Found myself a very nice acoustic dobro, resonator guitar.
I'm not sure if that's pornographic or not, but
I
think it's music.
It has like a metal plate on the front.
Metal plate on the front, yeah.
Like Dire Straits.
Similar,
very similar. A wooden version of it.
I know my stuff.
Play like used a lot for slide guitar. And then we got given a VIP tour right through out the back into the green room, into their special vault, which was absolutely amazing. From Nashville, we headed up through the Smoky Mountains, rode Tail of the Dragon. Which
was that like?
Good road.
Yeah.
Even more exciting when a black bear ran across the road in front of us, which was pretty wild.
That would be interesting.
It was.
How far in front of your bike was the black bear?
20 metres or so.
Yeah, it's close enough for a black bear, mate.
That's close enough.
Those things will bite your head off.
They move pretty quick. I'd hate to be the slowest runner. From there, we headed up to Niagara Falls.
Nice.
Via Gettysburg. Gettysburg is a beautiful, beautiful town. So much history.
Yeah, it's seen one of the biggest battles of the Civil War, wasn't it?
The whole town is a monument to that battle. And absolutely mind-blowing. Could easily spend a week or two just in Gettysburg. But from there, headed up to Niagara Falls, jumped across the border, went up into Canada a little bit to go to a couple of dealerships.
Pop up into Canada.
Just popped into Canada. Then we came back from there, followed the shoreline of the Great Lakes. Which look like oceans. They are so big. Followed that around the top, and then slowly worked our way down into Sturgis.
Awesome. So have you got plenty of photos? You put photos up on your Facebook page or stuff, have you? Or?
We will. I've got to go through about 10 to 12,000 photos.
Tennille is a photographer by trade, ain't you? So where we would look at something and go, click. She looks at something and goes, click, 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 and there's 752 photos. It's like,
But
A Japanese busload of tourists down at Phillip Island.
but
Every
in
time
the
it's on the
month
bottom.
that there is the good one.
Yeah.
There's the money
Yeah,
shot.
that's
every
the one
day.
you want, isn't it?
So we might put Tennille's link up. That's okay. Your Facebook page up in the show notes as well, so people can see those photos because there'll be some crackers in there.
Oh, yeah, there will be.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So you would absolutely recommend it, yeah?
Absolutely. Not a cheap exercise.
Yeah.
But
Ballpark?
60 plus.
Plus 11,000 for the flights.
Gee whiz.
Yes.
And
So-
that's not spending money either.
Yeah.
So you're looking at somewhere close to about 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. All up. Yeah.
Huh?
I just
You
didn't
reckon
work
you're a
out
committed? You reckon you're a committed boy? Look at these two.
It needs to be committed.
You don't think about the money until you come back.
Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't look at the conversion. I
But
just
it's the
went,
trip of a lifetime, isn't it? Really?
Exactly. It was the bucket list
Yeah.
for us.
First time I'd ever left Australia.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
Well, you sort of did it all right, though, didn't you? You
Yeah.
sort of did it the right way.
Yeah, we figured if we didn't go big.
Yeah. Go big or go home.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And obviously, the highlight was, me and Lisa taking you out for drinks.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Those two lemonades were
That,
That was the best.
that was best.
that and the dinner in Vegas.
And the dinner in Vegas was
My
nice.
birthday.
That was true.
That was
We
actually
did-
one of the best
we-
meals I'd had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It was,
dinner
it was a nice restaurant, that.
That was very
Directly opposite the Bellagio fountains. So we
Yeah.
sat there having dinner,
and entertainment.
the four of us with Chris and Katie.
Yeah.
So there was the six of us there, and we had a great night, actually. And every 15 minutes, so, off we go to the Bellagio bloody fountain.
That's it. That's it.
Close them down. It's way too late. I'm trying to talk.
No, it was really worth it.
Yeah.
Really worth it.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Brilliant.
Start saving.
Guys, get out there. Like I keep saying, get off the couch, get out and experience life because, mate, you can't, like
Roadshow, mate.
we were talking before,
You can't take it with you.
you can't take it with you. You
No.
may as well take memories because money is just going to get left to your kids, and who wants to give them that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but we got a lifetime of memories. We
Yeah.
really did.
What was your favourite, Neil?
Sunset over
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Oh, Headwards the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We flew from Vegas into the Grand Canyon this time on a helicopter. Lisa wanted to do that for many years, and we did that this time. And wow, what an experience! But the sunset would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Sunset would be awesome. And frankly, I personally think that as much as I enjoyed flying into the Grand Canyon and down into the Grand Canyon, I think the view from the top is better than the view from the bottom
Yeah.
because it just is an awesome sight looking down
It's
into that
just
massive
so
hole.
mind-blowingly big.
But it was amazing to be at the
Go
base of
ahead.
the Grand
Yeah,
Canyon and
look
look
up,
up and
yeah.
just go, what? Just look at this. I mean, if you've ever seen the Grand Canyon on television, on movies, anything like that, forget it. It doesn't do it even close to justice.
No.
It is just such a. I remember the very first 5 years ago when we went there, and the first time we went to the Grand Canyon, we went to the rim of the Grand Canyon from the from the south ridge, and we got there, and we looked into it, and I just remember thinking, okay, United States, you win this one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I had never, it nearly brings you to tears
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
time you see
Yeah,
it. You know,
for spectacularly.
Yeah.
That was when you played for the helicopter right there, wasn't
well, that did bring me to tears.
it?
That did bring me to tears.
We did Monument Valley just before the same day before we did Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
That
was
is
cool.
what did you do? That would be pretty cool too.
It was very good.
We had a shaman drive us around, so that's,
Yeah.
it's
Awesome.
very well respected.
It was absolutely, to me, the Grand Canyon is just a must see for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
It is just. Look, I'm not a religious person, but I don't know what built that bloody thing. But
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
And it's open 24 hours, so you can stay
Yeah.
there as long as you want.
Yeah.
Come and go with your pass.
Yeah.
But be
Don't wander around in the dark.
Don't touch the squirrels.
Don't touch the squirrels.
No.
Squirrels.
Is that an acronym for something?
No, the squirrels
Don't think
account
that.
for more hospitalisation at Grand Canyon
Really?
than
Any other animal, yeah.
than any
Really?
other animal.
Wow,
There's at least 20 bites that cause hospitalisation a day.
really?
So that's why the Americans got all those guns.
Yeah,
That's
Give
it.
it- give it-
Get rid of bloody squirrels.
Squirrel.
Dangerous little bastards.
Mate, we better wrap this up, otherwise this podcast is going to go for 3.5 hours.
You know what? I could sit here for 3.5 hours to listen to this because this is something that that really not a lot of people do.
No.
Obviously, the cost is immense, but the payout's immense too, isn't it?
Payout is so worth it. It's a lot of money, but you don't think of the money, think of the experience.
Yeah.
And the experience is priceless.
Yeah.
Just give up all those extra things that you think that bring you happiness. Get a Harley and ride overseas.
Well, then Brian's come up. Brian Johnson. Who's that? Brian Johnson from the ACDC. Hello, Brian. Cool, lovely music, Brian. And congratulations on renewing your marriages vows again. I tell you what.
It's BJ.
G'day, BJ.
He's a mate of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. And who's this? Reese. I love the States. Can't wait to go back. Well, I got to agree with you, Reese.
I couldn't agree more.
I'd go back tomorrow. I love the States. I love the views you can see. There's so much to see. There's so much to do, and the people. I can't speak highly enough of them.
We would have kept riding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We would have saw it all.
Sort of a Sturgis said, can't we just turn around and go back the other way?
Go back and do it again. Like 53 days was great, but another 53 would have been even better.
Yeah. So, no, it's absolutely fantastic, guys. And thanks for coming and talking to us about it.
We really appreciate it.
Me and Lisa had an absolute ball almost coming to your renewal of your vows.
Are you a photographer?
I was a photographer for today. We'll put some photos up on the Facebook page. I think we actually already put one up, didn't we? And also, you'll have your 60th birthday, mate.
Thank you very much.
You old blokes, fair dinkum. I got there just a bit before you, mate, and
got to apply for my seniors card.
Oh, just comes to the moment.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. People laugh at you. You get your seniors card. Guess what? Get shit on parking at the shopping centre. There's always that seniors parking. I love that. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Give us a kiss, you. All right, too easy.
Thanks for all those. I think we've got about 50 or 40, 45, 50 people in the chat, which is fantastic.
And we're seeing us do our first live, and thanks for sticking with us, guys, because it's you're getting a bit close. Come on.
Sort of stuck there.
Oh, leave it, me, Smith. Sorry, my bad.
You're right. What else we got in here?
Well, hold on, mate. I've got to go to the iPad. We've got a few more things. All right. So we spoke to Lisa, and now a couple of the rides. I just want to wait a second. Let me go to the banners, and let's go. Ask me the question.
Now, did you get a route in Sturgis, mate?
Mate, I got heaps of routes in Sturgis.
That's good.
All right. So the first one was obviously we've spoken about.
Lisa came back bow-legged.
My grandchild adoption, for God's sake. Ignore him, kids. No, look. I mean, obviously there's Iron Mountain Road and Needles Highway, which we did in one day, which was absolutely sensational. Now, the Iron Mountain Road, I haven't got my thing here, but it just switchbacks and tunnels and views are just incredible. So the Iron Mountain Road and Needles Highway were fantastic. Devil's Tower was something. It was funny because I wasn't actually overly keen on going to Devil's Tower because basically it's just a smaller version of Ayers Rock. It's just a rock sticking out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, it was impressive when we got there, though.
Yeah.
Had a really good centre there that you go in and get ice creams and bloody all sorts of things. And they've got a weird thing there where they have a rabbit with moose bloody.
Oh, yeah.
Jackalope.
Yeah.
What the hell is that all about? If anyone in the chat knows what the hell a jackalope is, I said that's a
jackalope.
A jackalope.
Yeah.
Stupid idea. So that was quite funny. And as I said, that was on the way down to that. We met TJ and the crew. So that was a really good ride. But for me, I think the highlight of this trip is Spearfish Canyon. So you leave Sturgis, you ride for about 35 minutes. I think you get to the Spearfish Town, just go out through there. It's pretty well signposted, so we nearly got lost. And we did Spearfish Canyon. As I said, it might have only taken about 35 minutes of riding, but it was possibly some of the most beautiful road I've ever ridden in my life. I mean, the road itself is absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The weather was perfect and the scenery was insane, and what a fantastic way to finish off the riding part of the holiday. So that to me. I think this time I'd have to say that Spearfish Canyon was my favourite, because Iron Mountain Road, as much as I love it, it was pretty busy.
Yep.
However, we went up to the top, down to the bottom, stopped, bought half a dozen T-shirts and stuff at the Iron Mountain Road shop, and then we said, you know what, we want to do it again. So we rode back up to the top, parked at the parking area they've got up there, had a look over at Mount Rushmore and that, and then came back down again. So it was that was really good. But the Spearfish Canyon to me was, I think I'd do that day one when I went back.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. So yeah, that was fantastic. Other things we did over there was, and I've got to do a bit of a shout out to when we did the Badlands. It was funny because we stopped at the Badlands, and every so often there's a big car park, toilets and all that sort of thing, and it's just insanely good. The visual in the middle of the desert, and it's just gorgeous to look at. Anyway, I'm walking across the car park and I see this bloke's Harley, and it's got a massive skull on the front of it. That looks pretty cool. So I walked up and I just said to him, I said, "Oh mate, that looks really cool." He says, "Thanks." I said, "Would you mind if I take a photo?" Because it was such a good, it just looked really cool. He said, "No problem." So I'm taking the photo. He says, "Now you can see it on YouTube as well." I looked up and said, "Oh, you got a YouTube channel too?" It seems everybody's got a bloody YouTube channel. He said, "Yeah, I've got one called Riding in the Ozarks."
Yeah.
And Mike from Riding in the Ozarks, who I know you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognise him because he had a helmet on and he had a big, his beard was well plaited and everything. And then I looked up and I realised who I was talking to. So, Mike, I apologise I didn't recognise you straight away. So we exchanged stickers.
And he actually proposed to his fiancée at Sturgis as well.
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe so. That was a couple of days after I'd
They're all loved up over there at the moment.
I don't know what's going on. There must be some Viagra in the bloody waterway or something. I don't know. But absolutely, I mean, that was just a chance meeting, and hopefully we'll get Mike on the show at some stage soon.
Yeah.
And because it was actually funny, because prior to getting to the Badlands, we'd stopped at a town called Wall. Wall has this massive sort of cowboy-style centre, which was unbelievable, and there's also Badlands Harley Davidson there. And while we were at the Wall store, the drugstore it's called, I'm talking to an American bloke, and he says to me, he says, "Oh, you should go riding in the Ozarks." I said, "Well, funnily enough, I watch a bloke on YouTube called, and the YouTube channel called Riding in the Ozarks, and apparently it is really good."
Yeah.
So 20 minutes later, I'm standing there talking to Mike from Riding in the Ozarks. So how's that for a coincidence, mate? Absolutely sensational.
Well, we better get on to the rallies, runs and events.
Well, we've got one thing before that, mate. How are we going for time?
We're over an hour at the moment.
Does anyone want us to go home? Are you happy to sit there and listen? Let us know in the... how many people are still watching, mate, or are we wasting our time?
42.
42. Well, they clearly want to talk to us, mate. What do you reckon? Just quickly, we've got one quick... here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, for the many in the audience and the millions watching other things, ladies and gentlemen,
let's get ready to grumble.
Oh, the vibrato in the new studio worked quite well for that. I quite enjoyed that. They're very good. We have a grumble, and I'll let you have this grumble, because if I have this grumble, I'll get really upset.
Well, you know how we spoke to everybody when we interviewed about what happened with Jarman and all the terrible things that happened with that whole case, with people getting no justice whatsoever. So in the area where Jarman was actually killed, in that area, there was like a little memorial to him there, and they put a Harley Davidson plaque up there and lots of stuff. Well, some dog has gone there, and it was actually bolted to the thing, and it was and
bolted and glued
and burred over. So they've cut it off, and they've taken that Harley Davidson plaque,
What
Now,
sort of piece of shit does that, mate?
well, it's a pretty big piece of shit. Now, in all honesty, I mean, what sort of low life are you? I mean, you obviously know what that is there for.
Well, there was all flowers around it and everything too.
And then
So
they take it.
clearly a memorial.
And it wasn't the council. We already know that. So somebody's and clearly it's obviously somebody did the motorcycle. They wouldn't take the Harley Davidson sign.
Mm.
If anybody knows who did that, if you wouldn't mind dropping us a line, just to let us know. We'd love to go and see him.
Love to have words.
And I don't know, just discuss his thought process. If he wouldn't mind bringing it back. If somebody does know who did it and they want to give it back to us, no questions asked, just leave it somewhere and we'll go pick it up. We'd really thank you for that. But other than that, if somebody actually does know who did it, let us know.
Yeah. So it sucks, mate. But I'm fairly had enough kickers in the guts. They didn't leave that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've actually spoken to them and about whether or not they want it replaced or not, and I think they're thinking about that at the moment. But it wouldn't be the same, I don't think, because it's not the one that was put there by his mates at the time. So anyway, speaking of which, rallies, runs, and events, mate.
Yep.
We're coming close to a conclusion. We have a number of things. It's starting to liven up again, which is great because we've had a couple of months of bugger all.
Yeah.
So 25th, which is this Friday night.
Yes.
Melbourne Bike Night out at the Rombarassi Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's held every month. Just a word of advice to anyone who's going to Melbourne Bike Night, whether it be Melbourne Bike Night, Geelong Bike Night, Ballarat Night, doesn't matter.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Don't go doing burnouts and bloody, valve bouncing and all that sort of crap, because all it does is bring unwanted attention on it. Go, have a good time, show your bike. If you want to impress, bring a good bike, a nice looking bike. All right? Because anyone can sit there and rip the guts out of their bike. Really. And
not impressive.
If you want to do your burnout, do it
somewhere else.
3.5 kilometres away where it won't be,
Well, the last thing you want to have is events like this to be shut down, which is what will happen.
And they will shut it down if people are, pain in the arse too much. So that's that one. Saturday night, Bike Mayhem out at Calder Park.
Yep.
So if you want to drag race your bike, if you want to go out there and you want to show how good you are on your bike and how good your bike is, get off your ass and go out to Calder Park and spend a few dollars.
Yep.
That looks like fun. We'll have to get out there one night, mate.
Go there.
So that'll be fun. And also on the Saturday the 26th is Ride with the Rockers. I've got to go to my little thing here. So that was Melbourne Bike Night. Ride with the Rockers is, let me go to that. Okay. It's held on the fourth Sunday of each month and all are welcome. This month's ride we're meeting at the far end car park at Lilydale Lake at 9:30. Kickstands up at 10. So it's held by the 59 Club, and they sort of look at, but they've got the old cafe racer culture, mate. A lot of old English bikes and stuff like that, which is very, very cool. So that would be a good one to get along to if you want to get on a ride. And also on the 26th at Harley Heaven Melbourne and Harley Heaven Dandenong, we have the 40th year Hog celebrations. So get along there and have a look at what they've got happening there.
I think they've got rides there too. They've got demo rides, I think.
I'll have a look. As we get ready for the 120th Hog Rally in September, we're hosting a special event which shall unveil a unique one-off.
No, that's happened. No, this is a demo day.
That one was the 17th of August.
This is their demo rides. You've got a whole truck rocking up with all the new bikes in there.
26th of August.
Demo tour.
Yeah, the demo tour. So they're going to have all sorts of different bikes there for you to check out. So well worth getting along for a look there. And then on the 2nd of September, Morgan and Wacker have got their demo tour. Similar sort of thing out at Morgan and Wacker. And 2nd of September, the Hog group out at Traralgon Harley Davidson, Traralgon Harley Davidson are running a poker run. So if you go to Rallies, Runs and Events page, all these flyers are up and available to see. And that weekend also is the Flatlanders Rally.
Mhm.
So if I go and have a look at the Flatlanders Rally here, mate, I know that was right back here at the start. So that is held by the Goulburn Valley Motorcycle Club, and it's held on the 2nd of September, $30. They got the band Bonsai Buffalo and bonfire on Saturday night. They got a bar on site, roast beef and gravy rolls. I'm there for that.
Bacon egg rolls.
That sounds all right. No, just roast beef and bacon and egg rolls too. Juice.
Yep.
You can get some juice, mate. Tea and coffee on Sunday. So please note the Undira Hotel and General Store of clothes. So you basically got to take everything in that you want. Toilets on shower, no showers. Oh, who needs to shower at a rally, mate?
Yes. Yeah.
Who needs to shower at a rally? Not necessary. So that's it. That's the rallies, runs and events. And I did have one more, actually, which I wanted to tell you about, which is not in...
Guys, one thing I wanted to ask you too is if you haven't got on our Facebook page yet, jump on there. It's a great spot to anything that's we sort of come up with in between shows we put up on there. So please get on there, tell your friends about it, invite them along. There's some really good stuff comes up on there, lots of good interaction. So get on that. That's the Hogs, Flogs and 2 Aussie Flogs Facebook page.
Yeah, in the show notes.
And if you haven't yet, if you can ask your mates to join up, we're trying to hit 1,500 subscribers. We've had a really good, I think we're at 1,480 something.
Yeah.
If we can get up to 1,500, that would be fantastic, because the bigger we get, the more we can offer you, like stuff like discounts and off your riding gear, off your lighting. I've got another good thing which is about to happen as well, which another company has come on board. So there's more stuff for you guys. This is, like we've said from the start, this is all about creating a community, and the more people we get along, the more power we have as a group. The more stuff that we can affect change on, especially stuff with potholes and stuff, which we were going to talk about tonight. We're going to run out of time. We'll do it on the next one.
Yep.
What was the other one you wanted to talk about?
Safe to say, I've got this other one, which is called the Frogs Hollow Bike Show. Burnout Colt bars, open stores, but I'm trying to work out where it is. It says Apple Tree Creek Sports Ground. But again, the problem I've got here is it doesn't even say what state it's in.
Okay.
So that's on the 19th, and what's the date of this thing? So I've gone to another site that actually shows stuff.
2nd of September.
2nd of September. So 2nd of September, if you live anywhere near Apple Tree Creek Sports Ground.
If it's in Victoria,
let us know. If someone's watching, do you know what the what's the name is? No, I'm still here. I thought you were wrapping up. Here we go.
So guys, so that's pretty much it from us. The one thing we did announce too, if you've got a social motorcycle club and you've got an event coming up and you want to do a quick 3 minutes video to send into us, please do. We'll put it up. You don't even have to edit it. Just send us the video and we'll bung it together for you, and we'll put it up. And that way you can promote your event that's coming up. One more thing we've got to do is we had a competition to win a
survival first aid kit.
First aid kit. We had a massive amount of entries. I think there's 23 entries come in. We'll get a randomizer up.
We're going for a pick of wheels, spinner wheels. We've got 23 entries in this one.
23
winning prize. So I've just got to find one, mate. We'll go up to number. Bear with us a second. The fun of live TV. Working beautifully.
Just find a randomizer.
I'm going to find one that actually bloody works. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? Bear with me a second. Talk away. Interesting.
So guys, get those videos into us, because it's a great way to promote your club. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a long one, just 2 to 3 minutes. I'll even put it together for you, get it up here and get it happening. The other thing that we wanted to remind everybody about was the stuff that's been happening with the roads. We'll have more on that in the next podcast coming up. But suffice to say, they've shuffled around $110 million worth of stuff that's actually coming out of the existing budget. So they've actually done nothing.
We've been bullshitted again.
Yes. So we'll keep on the busts about that. Yeah. All right, this randomizer.
Okay, so as we said, we got the. Let me get rid of that banner that's up there at the moment, my friend.
Yep.
Okay, so Survival came to the party, gave us a couple of great first aid kits.
Free motorbike.
Also comes along with a splint and a motorcycle waterproof carry
These
bag.
are rippers.
Absolutely sensational. They've done real good. So one of our lucky people who said the word survival in the last podcast's show notes. So we've got a randomizer here with number 1 to 23. Let's give it a big spin. Drum roll, please, Denise. And the lucky winner is number 22, which is Gasman 6746. So Gaz, he's a lovely bloke, mate.
Yeah,
Absolutely cracking bloke.
Gasman, this is
Normally he's here watching with us, so congratulations, Gasman.
Yep.
He's up in Queensland actually.
Is he?
Yeah. So last time I saw Gasman, he actually came down for
Geelong Bike Night.
Geelong Bike Night the night before Danny's ride.
Yes.
The ride in February.
Yep. So congratulations, mate. You got one of these. We'll send it off to you.
Yep.
If you could just contact us, hopefully you see this. If not, we'll look you up on Facebook.
I've got him on Facebook anyway. So
we'll send this out there. So well done. Also, Merritt, if you're watching, Merritt, I know you've been crook lately and you've been in hospital and what sort of stuff. I saw you in the last podcast or something I saw come up. Please contact me because we've got a prize for you. I want to send out to you. Yeah. It's a really good prize from Caffeine and Machine, which you entered into way back when, but I can't get it out to you unless I know where you live. So please, if anyone knows Merritt, get on to us. Let us know where he lives and I'll send it out to him.
So, mate, that's our first live done and dusted.
Thanks, everyone. Hit the thumbs up if you wouldn't mind.
That would be really helpful.
That's it from me.
That's it from me.
That's it from Hogs.
Cogs.
And 2 Aussie Flogs.
Ciao.
Catch you next time, guys.